Here's a fun farm I've been doing for quite a while now. This is heroic Slavepens where we kill 2 bosses. This is possible as any of the hunter specs. So let's get on with it. The first obstacle is obviously to weave between the lobsters. We don't want to pull any of them. The slave handler here on the left, he patrols alongside these cages. When he's closest to the entrance cave, he can aggro us going in, so you just wait for him to be far away. Or like patrol to the other side. The champions, I'm going to do the safest option here in pulling with the Eye of the Beast pet pull. It's just 2 melee mobs, right? How hard can it be to skip 2 melee mobs? But I'm doing the safest one for the sake of the video. Feign here, wait for them to pass by me. Unfeign. We're gonna go up into these bushes here. No mob patrols to this particular occasion, so we're not gonna aggro everything. We're gonna do another pet pull now, but this time we are going to lead the Bogstrokes away. We want to use dash early to make sure that we pass by them before they aggro us, preferably. They do hit pretty hard on heroic, so your pet can die. My pet is just level 64, so he dies really quick, but it's enough with a level 64. Oh yeah, you do need to have a cat for pulling Quagmirran later. I will show that as well. So yeah, I'm just checking for patrol. We don't want the patrol to be coming in when we're done with that. We can jump into the water if we need to buy extra time in any of the water ponds. I'm just checking so that the Bogstrokes are walking the opposite direction of me, so I can safely feign. We're gonna proceed and do another Eye of the Beast pull here. These 2 defenders, they are immune to hard CCs. You can slow them, but they're immune to hard CCs on heroic. So we're just gonna move them from the entrance so that we can sneak by here. And then I'm going to do a very safe pull, because we do have to kill these 2 defenders and the 2 patrolling technicians inside. But I'm going to do this very safely. You can do this without Eye of the Beast a lot quicker, but we're showing it for safety's reason here. We're gonna speed up the footage soon of just killing the mobs, because there's not really... I would recommend practicing this ledge jump. If you plan on doing this, I would recommend practicing this ledge jump a bit before you pull any mobs, because, well, it's pretty hard. Oh yeah, additionally, this ledge jump is a lot more difficult on orc female, undead female, and I wanna say dwarf female was pretty difficult. I tested this during beta. Beta servers were still up as of making this video. Every other race was fine doing this on, but it's still fine doing it on those races. It's just harder because they have a slightly shorter jump. So I'll see you when these mobs are dead. That's all the trash that we had to kill to complete this run. Now we're going to aggro Mennus to clear the ramp, as in we want to make sure that he tries to walk up on the ledge to us. We want to look up as well to check where the patrol is that walks above us. It would be very unfortunate to run into them, so we can check here already. Mennus has gotten enough distance. Now we're just going to run up here. Pretty straightforward. We're going to feign as soon as we get to the top of the ramp here. Just make sure we don't aggro the other pack. No problems here. So now we're gonna do this part the safest way we can, which is a trap and a pet pull on the technicians. This is mostly because like BM doesn't have all the tools that the other specs has. If you're playing like survival or MM, you can just trap one, scatter one, right? It's not really a problem. But we're doing it the safest way here. If pet dies, you can just revive it, but... So I shoot the mob there just to re-aggro the mob so it doesn't actually kill my pet and I can despawn it. Here we're gonna feign, we get to the bridge. If you have parachute cape you can jump down, I'll show that later. But normally you would have to jump down here onto this platform under. That's about 50 to 55% fall damage. Unless you jump from the highest point, then I think it's like 58%. And we're gonna go ahead and eat up and banish. It is very important that we feigned and are not in combat with Mennus before we do that jump, because he would teleport us back. This ledge here I did, we can jump. You wanna make sure that you run off the ledge and not jump into the wall, because then you're gonna fall into the water. You can jump from the edge of that ledge as well over, or you can walk around. There's a chance you aggro champions if you walk around. But then we just have to feign, I guess. So now we're at the spot where we're going to pull Mennus, and this is why we need a cat pet. So we're just gonna summon the pet with I have the beast, obviously. And I have the beast control it. We're gonna stealth it past. It's a little bit unfortunate timing on the patrol, so I just have to wait here. These are 2 more defenders, so they have like higher stealth detection. I believe at least. Recasting I have the beast just to refresh the duration. This is pretty precise, at least with my pet's level. I've heard that it's easier with a level 70 pet. I don't have one currently, but mine is level 64 and it's still fine, but you have to walk kinda in the middle there. And then we're just gonna walk up. We wanna avoid this patrol pack as usual. It's really safe to walk on the left side, so I just refresh I have the beast again because I have to wait. So now we've passed all the Nagas. Quagmirran, he chains lobsters, but not Nagas. And we can deal with him chaining lobsters. That is normally not an issue. It is an issue if we get feign resist, which surprise we're going to get. Spoilers. But I'm showing a normal run where I have a buyer right after this in a little bit more sped up and general gist, but... So, I stood on my pet there. I stood with my pet there until Quagmirran proximity pulled him. Now I'm summoning my pet again. This isn't necessary, but I'm doing it because I'm placing my pet closer to Quagmirran to put him in render distance earlier. Because mobs in WoW walks really slow when they're not in render distance. So this is basically just to make the boss arrive at us quicker, right? You don't have to do this, you can just wait, he's going to come. So I've also marked him for that sake so I can see him through the wall, right? So now I'm gonna go up and place a slow trap, which normally helps against bogstroks. You wanna place it like just to the left of that little bush, that line of like 3 bushes. And we wanna go behind this rock formation here. This is mostly just because it's we're gonna jump down here on the left side. Don't touch an evade spot. Quagmirran will teleport you if you touch an evade spot. So, since he chains lobsters, normally we feign here, but I do get a feign resist here. So we'd have to, like, do the pull again. Because I didn't drop the lobsters. You can actually kill him with the lobsters, but that's about it, really. I'm going to show a longer run now, with the kill included, where I have a Shadow Priest friend with me. And what I do, and I'll go through it generally in how I do the pulls, and enjoy. Okay, so first off, we're gonna skip the bogstroks by just walking between them. When we get to this sloped wall here, I'm gonna tell him to stay here. Same thing as usual, the slave handler can... If you aggro the slave handler, there's a chance they just walk to him because they count as pets and have some weird aggro. But you just wait for the slave handler to be in a faraway position. I'm doing a different way here of skipping this, but this requires you to have CC abilities like Wyvern Sting and Scattershot or whatnot, so that's not friendly for BM. BM would probably just wait. We're going to proceed to do I have the beast pull to get him past here. Same as we did before. No difference here. Just going to slowly wait an aggro, and we're gonna run away. We're actually gonna do a little bit risky here, because I didn't use dash, because I wanted to do something bigger. So I refresh I have the beast here. That's also risky because you can get disconnected, so it's up to you if you want to imitate it. But I do all of this in one pull, because I've done it a bit. So I'm just slowly walking up to Bogstrokes, and I'm gonna use dash as soon as I get close to Bogstrokes. Gonna lead them on a wild goose chase here. Down the water here to buy myself extra time. This buys a lot of time actually, so and we're just going to control the mobs. I tried to recast IFTBs, but I realized I don't really need it. I'm just gonna back my pet down into the water here. And then the reason I make the mobs go down here is so that I can stay on one side of that big rock coming up here on the left. He already knows to go to the bush. You can tell him to walk up to the bush or buyer or stand with you, because you're just gonna have to pack. We have the patrol coming here. It's a pretty bad timing, but I have more than enough time. Sorry. I will stay down here. This is just, as I said, so that I can make sure that the mobs are running on the right side here instead of the left side, because when I feign, I don't want the mobs to run over and aggro the priest again. So where the priest is gonna go to a safe spot, he knows, but where I am standing here, my pet was feared. That was a bit scary. Oh no, priest, yeah, he's probably going into it. But where you're standing here, this is a safe spot, nothing aggroes you. Okay, he's actually standing here. I do one mistake here. The priest is standing a bit too close, so the Naga on the left here actually chains to him for some reason. So I have to cancel pet really early, but I just use the turrets for that and slow him. That was not the intention. The priest stood a little bit too close. So you want to have the priest stand further behind you. So this was the faster way that I wanted to say as well. If the mobs are walking like in the middle of that corridor, you can jump up the ledge instantly, and they're gonna keep walking like along the middle, so you don't have to do some pet pull to get them into killing position. Now it's the same thing as before. We're just gonna kill. It goes a bit quicker with it, since he's gonna help. I'll just speed up until that part is done. Okay, so we've fucked this up a bit by him taking aggro. This is why buyers, you know, sometimes shouldn't help. Sometimes they should. Depends if they know. Like, he knows what he's doing. It just makes it weird. Here, I also did a mistake there. I targeted a Taskmaster pack. I don't know how I targeted. I think I must have left-clicked it and then pressed outshot, or I tab-targeted it. It was weird. But here we were debating, do we kill this pack as well, or do we just go on an evade spot? And we do decide to go on an evade spot, which is good, because this shows that there is an evade spot for mobs that we can use at any time when we need it. Obviously cannot use it against bosses, as the bosses has a teleport ability. This evade spot also doesn't make any sense, like none whatsoever. So we'll just chalk it up to blizzard coding. But basically, if you're in the water and you're hugging that particular wall where I flared, it's an evade spot, and I just go and double check it. I feign, and he mind visions me, right? But I run into the tunnel again, as I should, and we will see here that they're trying to target him right there. Yeah. So you see their evade spot there. So just as the normal run, we're gonna aggro the boss so that he can run down, run on the ledge, giving me the ramp free to climb. At this point, I have parachute cape equipped. I am going to, well, I am equipping parachute cape actually, because I'm doing a little bit faster for skip. I feign early here to equip the cloak as well. Also to have feign ready when I get to the top of the bridge. Ready for the jump. I check here quickly with the camera angle which side the pack is, the patrols, obviously, so we can go the other one. Upcoming here, I'm just doing a scatter shot and a wyvern sting combination to skip these. As we showed in the previous clip, you can pet pull them, you can trap them, You just have to bypass 2 mobs. You could feign in different intervals as well to make it easier. So here I feign again, just so that I can do the jump. You can jump, you don't have to jump over the wall to do this, but I like doing it. So we're just gonna glide down to the pull spot. Gonna have to jump ahead here a bit, because I did one pull with my pet just about now, where I accidentally aggroed Nagas at the very end. So I had to do the pet pull twice, but we don't really need that there. There's a little cut there. Prowling early this time because I aggroed Nagas, so I lost my self-confidence, obviously. No more big gamer or something. Anyway, same as we did on the previous clip, we're just gonna walk up, wait for the patrol to be in a good position, and we're gonna use dash and just go between them. Refreshing after beast here, as we normally do. Gonna go on the left side again, as is the safe choice. This time I can say without, I can say a spoiler here. I do not actually get feign resisted now, so everything works out now. I'm just running ahead, dodging bog strokes. I don't know if I aggroed one here. I don't think I did now. So Quagmirran, same thing as the first clip. We're just gonna run up and wait for him to proximity pull. This is why we wanna refresh after beast, because otherwise we rely on quite a bit of RNG, because we don't have a lot of time left on after beast when we reach Quagmirran, and he might not instantly aggro. Same thing as before. Is moving my pet close this time. Yeah, as I said before, moving it close to force him to move, or force him to render earlier. This might be placebo. I just do it because of diamal pet. I'm used to diamal stuff where mobs walked really slow if they weren't in particular distance. We just make sure. One very important thing, if you do this, is that when you cancel after beast, is that you press pet stay. The pet has to despawn, because if you feign here, and I am going to feign when Quagmirran gets close to me, if you feign and you've summoned your pet, he's gonna target and try and go and kill your pet, and all the bog strokes or lobsters that he has chained are also going to do it. But yeah, here I'm just gonna feign here, wait for him to turn around, and then I'm gonna re-body pull him. If there's like any type of distance basically between him and any lobsters that are following him, you lose the lobsters but you re-aggro the boss. The reason you wanna feign here and not on this side here is because when Quagmirran has reached this side of the pond, he is too far away from his spawn spot or whatever you wanna call it, which means that when you feign and he drops combat, he's just going to teleport straight back to his cave or whatever you want to call it, his habitat. So now we're just gonna run ahead here, and we're gonna place my pet there. So one important thing here, my buyer is in the water there, in the middle, and there's only one thing that's important. It's that he is not in line of sight of the boss when it walks by, so that he gets in combat. Because then, when I feign here, the boss is going to go on him. Now, when I feign, since I summoned my pet while I was in combat, the boss is going to go for my pet. And it's very important that we do this, because we want to stay in feign. Obviously, Quagmirran is such a big hitbox that he would delete us here by walking by and hitting us. And the reason I'm staying in feign is that Quagmirran has an ability called Backhand that hits for about 5,000 damage on my hunter. And he does that on a random target when he walks around. Assuming like random target in range. So if we stay in feign, he doesn't cast that ability at all. And then we just hit him when he's close to our pet. And then this kiting starts. This is the kiting. I'm probably gonna speed this up because this is how it works out for the entirety. One warning is I pull Mennus during the pull to him quicker. You absolutely don't have to do that. It's just what I do. But you're just gonna do this jump up and down You can bait his slime spray, or whatever it's called, with your pet. That gives you extra DPS time. But that's about it. I have a nice nifty weak hour in the middle of my at the top of my screen. Oh yeah, that one's actually pretty important, right? The weak aura, or the meter you can see at the top of the screen. That one displays a cooldown on Quagmirran's Poison Bolt volley, which has like about 50-yard range. He has a 20-second cooldown on that ability. After that, he will cast it in a random period of time, so he will not cast it every 20 seconds. It's just that the ability is ready to be cast. So whenever the bar says like 5 seconds less or so, or 5 seconds remaining, I keep him on the ledge, or I stay on the ledge so that he runs away from me, so I don't risk taking damage. So now we're just gonna speed this up until they die. This is the same thing. The priest is helping DPS, but which also causes, well, I don't know if that was me, the slime spray or not, but yeah, that's about it. Oh, I almost forgot. To kill Mennus the Betrayer, you just keep him He only regens 1 mana on heroic currently. I don't know if it's probably bugged. Even if that was not the case, we would just have to kill the totems. It wouldn't really make a really big difference. Just make a macro to target kill the totems. And if you have a buyer or a friend that wants loot, he can stay in the water in the middle, where I showed the evade spot earlier. Just make sure that they are not in line of sight when Quagmirran walks by, and they are within loot range there. That's where you can place them, and they don't have to do anything. They don't have to help in the fight or anything. It just makes the fight longer. But that's about it. Keep Mennus and Viper Sting him. Once he's he almost regens no mana currently. Then he's just straight up tank and spank. You don't even have to be wary that he comes close to you. That's all for today. Happy selling of Nedders and whatnot.